Hi there, I'm Michael the Giblin with Fiddlershop.com, and welcome to a tutorial on the second violin part, or second instrument part, for the Fiddlerman Christmas 2021 group project on Dreaming of a White Christmas. I'm going to play it for you so you can hear what it sounds like, and then I've got some suggestions or tips on how to practice this.
1 and 1, 2, ready, play.
Alright, so I use the earbud in here just so you don't see it as much, but you're welcome to use the earbud in this ear. It makes a little bit more sense to have it in this ear because then your ear is closer to your instrument, you can hear it. So do whatever is comfortable for you. There are some open strings in this part, so I really would stress that you make sure your instrument is really in tune, and we're going to tune to 440 to make sure that we're all in agreement and that our open strings all sound beautiful together. The other thing is just be careful if you are using open strings. Sometimes they don't stick out, so sometimes you can use, sometimes it makes sense to cover. I'm talking specifically about measure 8. So you have, if you can play 4, I'd prefer that than rather. That's a little bit it's a little bit like that. But if you're uncomfortable with fourth finger and if it's always out of tune and your open A is in tune, then by all means do that. The bowings here are pretty good. I think they're pretty easy to follow. They're a little bit easier in this part than actually some of the other parts like 3 and 4. Sometimes the bowings are a little funny, but here it's all pretty straightforward. However, they are still just a suggestion. So if you want to change them, if you need to change them, it's not the end of the world. You can do so. It'll just look a little bit more uniform if we can all do the same bowings that are printed. So keep that in mind. A little bit is it's nice if you can use vibrato if you're used to playing vibrato. Especially on some of these long notes. Like in the first ending, it's just 2 bars of. So if you can add just a little wiggle, just a little impulse. Try to keep it really controlled and just minimal. It's still, I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. I'm not shouting or declaring it that it is a white Christmas. Nothing really fast, nothing really wide, just a little gentle. We don't want to, wake up from the dream because, hey, we live in Florida. We're not having a white Christmas. But you can still dream about having a white Christmas. So, moving on, in general, we want to try to sustain the sound and keep the sound as consistent as possible. There's not really any dynamics printed. There are a couple places where you can kind of come up and come down a little bit, but in general, try to be mindful of your bow distribution. So I'll start from the beginning and tell you what I'm talking about. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Now don't punch this first note. Because that one note sticks out, and I like to just do 1, 1. That comes back a couple times like in measure 20. So try not to, when there's a single note like that, something you can do to reduce that tendency is to save the bow in measure 3. 2, 3, 4. Save. Because if you get all the way to the tip and measure 3, the C, then you're gonna end up punching this note. Because you've got 3 beats here that you need to cover. So when there's a tendency like that, I'm trying to think where else that happens. That's pretty much the only spot, I think, that you have to be careful not to over accent certain notes. A little thing is the last note. It is just written as 4 beats, and the click track ends pretty abruptly after 4 beats. But if you could, please just sustain the note longer and give it a nice decay, a nice, decrescendo to nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then just keep going, and we'll sort of fade out in editing and we'll end all kind of nicely together, as opposed to it being an abrupt ending. One little stylistic thing I think you could do is around measure 15, 16 or so, you can kind of bring this up, but then as the line goes, as it walks down, just bring it down in dynamic a little bit. So I'm going to start in 13. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Bring this out. But so that part, it comes down. It's the only moving part, because the melody right there is just going to hear sleigh bells in the snow, and it's just holding the long note. So it is kind of an interesting moving part to bring it up, and just but bring it down, because we want to start back again with the second sort of phrase, which is like the beginning. That's basically all I have to say musically. One thing about recording is please record with your phone or device in landscape mode like this, not in portrait mode. We want everybody to be, uniform, and so try to give yourself also enough space so I can see your whole instrument, your head isn't cut off. It's okay if your bow is cut off. That's kind of hard to keep it always in the frame. But try not to be super close like this, where we can see your white heads on your nose. If I should have checked before filming here. Am I doing okay? All right. So not too close, not too far away, or if you can try to keep it at eye level, I think that's nicer, rather than if it's like at a weird angle or something, or we're looking down on your head or something. Hopefully we don't see your bald spot. You'll never know if I have a bald spot, do you? So those are just sort of some pieces of advice. I hope this was helpful. We look forward to seeing you, and thanks so much for participating. I'm always excited to see the whole finished product, and it'll be a nice little thing to work on this holiday season. Thanks so much. See you soon.
I hope that was informative and helpful.
Yeah, if you want to buy this product, just click right up here.
Right there.
Do it.
There,
We
do
would
it.
also love it if you subscribe to our channel so we can keep in touch. It's right over there.
And if you want to learn more about us, click right here.
Ba-da-ba-ba, Fiddlershop.